Okay. All right. Now, with law of cosines and as we get into law of sines, these are all going to be word problems because this is applied trigonometry. Number 4 reads, a new courtyard at Ghirardelli Square in San Francisco will be triangular. Find the length of the retaining wall given the diagram shown below. Well, I've drawn the diagram here. It's not exactly what they have, but it's the same thing. So the part I didn't label right here, this is actually the side where they have labeled as a retaining wall, and that's what we need to find. Well, the first thing I asked myself, what type of triangle is this? Well, I know two sides and an angle, and this goes with side, angle, side, so this is a side, angle, side triangle. So I know from knowing that it's a side, angle, side that I'm going to be using law of cosine. The next thing I really want to do is just label my triangle, because I already have an equation of c squared equals a squared. Let me just write it over here. C squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c, where a and b are my known sides and c is my included angle. Well, I'm going to label it that way. So I'm going to label this as capital C. The other two don't really matter. I'm going to label this as capital A and capital B. So this is going to be lowercase c, so we need to find lowercase c. Well, I set it up this way simply because I already had the equation with the unknown side right there. No point labeling it anything different. Match it up to your equation. Well, then this is going to be my lowercase a, and this is going to be my lowercase b. So we're just simply going to take the numbers and plug them in. As we plug them in, you're going to get, let's see, my a over here is 30. So we're going to do 30 squared plus 45 squared minus 2 times 30 times 45 times cosine of 105 degrees. From here, we just simply plug this all into the calculator. Once you plug it into the calculator, we're going to get c squared is approximately 10.6441. No, scratch that. I'm looking at the wrong problem on my paper. Sorry about that. My c squared is approximately 3,623.81 yards squared. Well, we have to take the square root of this, so when we do that, we're going to get approximately 60.1981 yards. Now, because they are word problems, just don't give me the number. I want the units on there. You don't have to do the units in the math itself. The units will work out as long as you're doing it correctly. I like doing it with the units separately. I do unit math separately, and as long as my units work out, then I know my numbers will work out as well. You could write it in a complete sentence, such as, if you look at my notes I've posted, it says the retaining wall is 60.1981 yards long. I wrote a sentence for the actual answer. You don't have to, as long as you label the proper, use a proper, I cannot talk. Use the proper label from the word problem itself. Okay, number 5. Number 5 reads, from Ghirardelli Square in San Francisco, you can see the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz Island. The angle between the sight lines to these landmarks is approximately 80 degrees. If the approximate distance from Ghirardelli Square to the Golden Gate Bridge is 3.2 miles and to Alcatraz is 1.4 miles, how far is Alcatraz Island from the Golden Gate Bridge? Well, they provided you a diagram, and this is approximately what the diagram is. We have the Golden Gate Bridge right here. We have Alcatraz right here, and we have Ghirardelli Square right here. They tell us it's 3.2 miles from Ghirardelli to Golden Gate Bridge, which is right here, and 1.5 from the park to Alcatraz. And when you're standing at the park, your sight lines is 80 degrees, which is right here. We can see again that this is a side angle side because we have two sides and an angle sandwiched in between it, so we're going to use the law of cosine. From there, we just simply need to label. What we actually need to find is the distance between Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz. So I'm going to label this as side C because I need to find side C. And that makes this angle C right here. And the other two do not matter. You can pick them as A and B, however you want. I'll say this is little a and this is little b, making this big B and this over here is big A. All right, so we simply just plug it into our equation. Well, our equation is still C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C, which are included angle. So we throw those numbers in there, and our equation ends up looking like C squared equals 3.2 squared plus 1.4 squared minus 2 times 3.2 times 1.4 times cosine of 80 degrees. Take all of that, throw it in the calculator. You get C squared is approximately 10.6441 miles squared. You take the square root of both sides. That's going to give me C is approximately 3.26253 miles. So a lot of this is nothing more than the setup. Once you have the setup, you recognize it's a side angle side, you know you're going to use law of cosine. You're going to generally get to pick and choose your A, B, and C, so you really don't need the other equations. You just kind of pick which one you need to solve for. These last two problems we were solving for a side. Number 6, we're actually going to solve for an angle. Number 6 reads, the annual escape from Alcatraz Triathlon includes a 1.5 mile open water swim from the island to aquatic park. Due to the strong current, swimmers aim for a tower located 0.3 miles from the shore from Aquatic Park and 1.25 miles from Alcatraz Island. What is the angle between the course and the swimmers? What is the angle between the course the swimmers set and the actual course they swim in the race? All right, so let's draw a picture. They gave you a nice little picture where it's a nice sharp acute triangle where this is Alcatraz Island. We'll call that, well, Alcatraz. We have Aquatic Park right here, AQ, and we have the tower you're going to aim for. Well, they actually asked us for what is the angle that we're actually swimming at, that we're going to start at. That's that angle right there. Well, let's fill in the information we know. We know from Alcatraz to the park, it's 1.5 miles. 1.5 miles. From Alcatraz to the tower that they aim for is 1.25 miles. And then from Aquatic Park to the tower, it's 0.3 miles. Well, this here we know the three sides. So this triangle is actually a side triangle because we know the three sides. We need to find an angle. Well, if you remember from the first video, we manipulated and we got an equation of your included angle C is going to be arc cosine of C squared minus A squared minus B squared divided by negative 2AB. So really you just need to identify what is what. All right, so we need to find the included angle C. So I'm going to go ahead and label Alcatraz, this angle right here, because that's what we need to find, as C. That makes this down here little c. These other ones, I'm going to just label this as B, and this is little a. That makes this big A and big B. Well, from there, I don't need big A or big B. We simply need to solve for big C, which is the angle C, which is the included angle. So we're just going to simply take our numbers. We're going to plug it into this equation. And we're going to get C equals arc cosine of 0.3 squared minus 1.5 squared minus 1.25 squared divided by negative 2 1.5 times 1.25. Once we put all that in the calculator, we'll see that our angle C, it's approximately 6.94311 degrees. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Most of these answers are going to be in degree. As far as rounding goes, it's really up to you, but at least give me 1 decimal place. When we take the quiz on that, I will tell you exactly how many decimal places you need to round every step at, so we make sure we get the same answers. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and work number 9 out of your packet. This one, they didn't provide you with any diagrams or anything along those lines, so you have to be able to set it up yourself. The problem reads, 2 ships leave a dock at the same time. They travel in straight lines, so the angle